Alright, in this tutorial we're going to go ahead and show you a little bit about user-defined variables and formulas. You can see in this example we have a calculation of force, which is just simply mass times acceleration. We want to put that in this cell down here. Now before we do that, realize that mass is empty because we want to average these 10 mass measurements to find the average mass. So if I go into the mass, we're just going to show you a simple formula for averaging. If you just type in the equal sign and then spell out average, and then put a parenthesis sign in there, and then you're going to go down and click on the first one and drag the range from B8 to B17. Close that parenthesis sign and hit enter. You can see that gives you the average mass up there. Now for the force, as we've done before in the past, we're going to hit equal sign and we're going to click on the mass cell and then the star or times the acceleration, and it gives us the accurate value at this point of 86.3. Now for this force, if I am given this spreadsheet and I would go back to look at the references here, I can see that this is B2 times B3, but I would have to go and either figure out where the color coding is or go back and reference these cells. So we're going to show you another way that you can actually reference these cells. If I go back into mass, for my mass, if I want, it's this name cell up here references what that is. So currently it's referenced as B2, that's the name for it, but I could type in mass instead, and for acceleration, I'll just go ahead and type in acceleration. So if I go back into force, you can see that the B2 and B3, those references still work. It didn't change those references, but now that we're going to go back in here, and I'm going to type in mass, and you can see sure enough there's the tab, and then times acceleration. If I just type in 3 letters ACC, you can see that the full one acceleration comes up here, so I can double click, and there you go. So now if I was given this spreadsheet, I could double click here and see it's mass times acceleration, know which cells are referenced there, and it's much easier to understand that formula. Now if I want to print the formula down here, first thing I'm going to show you is that you can always see the formulas. You can go back and forth if you just hit the control key and the tilde key, which is one left of the 1 button, and just hit that. Control tilde again will give you, it'll show you what the formulas are rather than whatever the value of the represented formula is. So we have mass times acceleration here and the average for mass. Now you can just tab back and forth between those, and I'll also show you if we wanted to find out what the actual formula for force is. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up into force, hit Control C. I'm going to copy that down here, and then if I double click in there, I'm just going to put an apostrophe at the beginning, and what you'll see is that apostrophe disappears, but now the formula shows up, showing just the text for what that formula is. Now if you have mistakenly put in mass and acceleration, or if you swap those somehow, you can always come back into formulas up top here, the tab for formulas, and it brings up this ribbon. You can go into name manager. You can see that the name is acceleration and mass here. Now this represents for the entire workbook, so now you could actually go into a different tab, a different page of your spreadsheet, and use acceleration and mass for that. So we'll go ahead and close that, and that's done for this tutorial.